here and I'm gonna make a salad for my lunch, and I thought I'd show you a really simple balsamic vinegar based vinaigrette to have for salad. The amount I'm gonna show you here is enough to make one good sized salad for 4, 5, 6, 7 people sort of thing, right? You can stretch it a little longer. I'll give you some tips for that, but it's just a basic vinaigrette using balsamic vinegar. Basic salad dressing. We had guests recently, they really like this. I want to know how to make it, so I thought, why not make a video? This is something I make all the time, so let's get going here. So the main ingredients for this vinaigrette are, the things you have to have are balsamic vinegar, some kind of oil. I've got extra virgin olive oil, but you can just use the cheap olive oil or any other kind of oil that you think is good for a salad. It doesn't really matter, just regular vegetable oil is fine. You need salt, you need pepper, you need mustard and sugar. Those are the main things. Balsamic vinegar, oil, mustard, sugar, salt, pepper. And so those are gotta haves, and the nice to haves are things like a little bit of basil, maybe a little bit of oregano. I got some lovage here, which is kind of like a celery flavored herb. That's nice too. Don't have to have those. Don't have to have the herby type things, but they're nice. Oregano is nice. There's plenty of different, parsley's good, you know, it all depends on your individual taste. But that's not, you don't have to have those things. Okay, let's get going. So the trick is you just take a jar. I'm not gonna use, I would normally mix this in the bowl I was gonna have the salad in. I'm just making a salad for myself, so this is more than I need for just me. But I thought I'd show you the basic recipe because it's more versatile to make, you know, an amount that's adequate for a decent bowl of salad if you're having guests or a family or whatever. So we're gonna have 2 spoonfuls of olive oil. You can use 3 if you want. Like all of these proportions I'm giving you, you can adjust up or down depending on your taste, okay? So that's the olive oil. Now you can use 2 teaspoons of sugar, or sorry, that was 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I don't know if I said teaspoon or tablespoon. Those are tablespoons of olive oil. Now I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of just plain old white sugar. You can put less in, you can put more in, you can use something else, right? All depends on what you want. I know I've played with my family's tastes. If I use 1 tablespoon of the sugar, my kids do not go back for seconds. My wife eats it, but I can tell she doesn't like it as much. You could put more in, but I think this is enough, right? And of course, if you're on a low sugar diet, use less. Or if you don't like refined white sugar, use something else that you think is healthy. Okay, so that's that. Now we put in, I like a half a teaspoon of pepper in here, and I like a half a teaspoon of salt in here. You can use less of those things if you want. I don't know if I may use a 1/4 teaspoon or whatever. And then I use an entire teaspoon of mustard. This is prepared mustard, like Grey Poupon. This is like sort of like no-name Grey Poupon, poor man's Grey Poupon. You need the mustard because it's emulsifier. It'll make this all thicken up and mix nicely together. Okay. Have we added the balsamic vinegar? I don't think we have. Let's add that. Knew something was missing. You know, you can use any kind of balsamic vinegar you want. Generally speaking, the more expensive ones are better. Generally speaking. So anyway, this is 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. You can add more, but you know, depending on the preferences of your guests, someone is bound to think there's an amount where people think it's too acidic. I can tell you from experience. Okay, so once you have that all in the jar, now we just shake this all up. Again, if I was making a salad for 4, 5, 6 people, I would just mix this all in the bowl. I wouldn't bother doing this. But I'm only going to use about half of this for today's salad. Okay, now it's all mixed up. I mean, you should, before you put it in your salad and commit, give it a little taste. You know, I made this so many times, I know exactly what this tastes like. This is the way I like it. Okay, now a little trick. I know I do this on the larger scale if we have guests coming, but if you want your salad to be really good, so you put the amount of dressing you're going to need for whatever salad you're going to have. This is just like you're prepping a meal for people coming over, and you don't want to have to think too much about it. So put the dressing in the bowl like that. I'm just going to use half a tomato here because it's just for me today. Could use more tomato, but tomatoes aren't cheap right now. I'm trying to conserve, and it's going to be months before I have them in my garden. So I cut the tomato up. Right, put the tomato right in that dressing, the bottom. And take your herbs, whatever herbs you got. I'm going to use this lovage. It's kind of like a celery. This is how I use it for people that have seen me show it in my garden tours. Very, very strong, powerful celery taste. Almost beyond celery, like super strong. Now put that in there. Just got dried basil here. I'm going to put a pinch of the basil in there. Basil and tomato always go good together. Celery flavor, always good in a salad. And I got this green onion here, right? So kind of a sad, I use these up from the grocery store. Green onion. So I'm going to cut that up really fine. See, what I'm doing is I'm cutting this stuff all up and I'm throwing it into the sauce, into the dressing. And these will also flavor the dressing. The acidity of the tomato, the sharpness of the onion, the various flavors in the herbs, right? All of that will get drawn out. So now I got that all in here. I just give that a stir, right? It doesn't matter if so now I got some juice coming out of the tomatoes, right? All that flavor is getting absorbed into the dressing. Okay. Now let's cut up my lettuce, which let's say was washed. All right, put that up. All right. Oh, you're supposed to rip tomato. You're supposed to rip lettuce. You're not supposed to cut it with a knife. It doesn't matter if you're going to eat it in 5 minutes. Okay, so all that's on top. Now, if we had guests coming over an hour from now, I'd just put a lid on this and I'd leave it like that, stick it in the fridge and leave it like that. Okay. So this way the lettuce will still be fresh and crunchy when we mix it all up. You don't mix salad until it's time to serve. Okay? And all of the stuff that's sitting in the salad dressing, those flavors will continue to improve and improve and improve and improve. Now, I'm going to eat this in 5 minutes, so I can just toss it up right now, right? But if I had guests coming over, I'd just put a lid, like a pot lid, right? Put a pot lid over this and stick it in the fridge. Now I don't have to worry about salad, right? When everything is ready, I can just take that out and eat it. I find this is a big salad for one. I've got about 3, if you were to measure this, it's about 3 cups worth of salad. I like to have a big salad with lunch sometimes. And that's a lovely, lovely salad, right? To me, these ratios I use is a perfect balance of sweetness, acidity, saltiness, pepperiness, mustardiness, balsamic vinegariness, etc., etc. To me, this works just right. But give it a try and make some adjustments. A little more, a little less of each thing, and let me know what you think. And of course, if people are interested, I can show variants. This is the basic ratios of things we use for any dressing. So there's an adjustment to this I would make for coleslaw. There's an adjustment of this I would use for a potato salad. They're all, a vinaigrette is the base for any kind of salad dressing, really. You've got some amount of acidity, some amount of fat, some amount of sugar, some amount of saltiness, etc., etc. But this is the basic salad that we would have with the tomato and that sort of thing. Has some raisins in there, some walnuts, whatever. I'm not telling you how to make a salad, right? Whatever you like. But that's how I make the vinaigrette, all right? Hope you found that interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my podcast, maritimegardening.com. Check out my weekly Substack article at maritimegardening.substack.com. Until next time, have fun in your garden, have fun in your kitchen. Thanks for watching.